Couple things to get out the way. First of all, thank you guys for supporting the niche version of this video. That is the only reason why this designer version exists. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Second of all, a lot of you guys have been noticing that I still do wear Into the AM's stuff. They've got great, everyday, easy to wear clothing products for men and women, but mainly for men. I love these hoodies. They're updated, new design, super comfy. They keep their color and their shape in the wash. Gonna have a link down below with a little discount code. And third, and most importantly, this video is brought to you by fragrancebuy.ca. They are a fantastic source for niche designer cologne, whatever fragrances you want to get for some of the best prices online. They've got them. They have an amazing rewards program that rewards you for being loyal. They're running some really cool contests. I think there's one happening through the end of the year called the Customer of the Year contest. If I can find the link, I'll link that down below where you can enter and win some really cool stuff, maybe even money.
Wow.
And every fragrance we're going to talk about in this video can be found at fragrancebuy.ca. No surprise there. So yeah, we're talking about 10 designer fragrances that can be worn year round. And there's a number of ways we can define the criterion for this video, but we're going to keep it relatively simple. I'm talking about scent profiles rather than performance, because I can speak pretty objectively on the scent profile of a fragrance and how you will smell it in the air when you wear it, but I cannot really speak objectively about how long they will last for you / how long you will be able to detect them when you wear them, or for that matter, how well anyone else will be able to detect them. We're just talking about the nature, the character of the scent profile. These scents will have a good balance of freshness to shine with some warmth and some warmer depth to have presence when it's a little bit cooler. You're gonna see quite a few eau de parfums in this video, and that's because they just kind of work perfectly for this scenario. Let's dive right into it. Mont Blanc Legend Eau de Parfum. I've only had this for a couple months, and it's a simple fragrance. It is lovely. This is quintessential, easy breezy, fresh, spicy, masculine, everyday fragrance. Definitely versatile for year-round use, especially a little bit more than the Eau de Toilette as an Eau de Parfum. It's not necessarily stronger, although I do find it to be fairly long-lasting, but its presence, it just has a denser, richer profile that hangs around, that is a little bit more noticeable when it's a little colder, because it is an overall fresh fragrance based on a lot of violet leaf, some spices. Smells clean, kind of sexy, again typical masculine, borderline generic if you will, but I do actually like it. So that's our first one up here. This is great for casual situations all year round. Mont Blanc Legend Eau de Parfum. Here's a fragrance I would not necessarily wear when the sun is high in the sky on a hot summer day. There's better choices for that, but I would wear this on a summer night, and I would wear it pretty much any other time of the year. From Burberry, we have Mr. Burberry, the Eau de Parfum, perfumed by the one and only Francis Kirkjohn. It is a little bit warmer than its Eau de Toilette counterpart, has more of a warm, spicy feel, but it is pretty fresh and clean. There is kind of a green freshness. There is some slightly alluring cardamom, which is a fresh spiciness. Patchouli kind of dominates the Eau de Parfum. It gives it more of a damp, earthy, darker feel to it, definitely making it more of an Eau de Parfum flanker. Wears pretty elegantly, kind of classy, but not super different. It's not the most groundbreaking fragrance, but it's not completely run-of-the-mill. There's something a little special to it, and I think it's the patchouli, because you don't see a lot of patchouli forward fragrances in the mainstream realm. So this one does it a little bit different, but it's not going to blow your socks off. But it is a pretty easy wear. Mr. Burberry Eau de Parfum. Brand new to my collection. I did film my first impressions on it, which will come out as a short. Maybe it's already out at this point, but I believe currently the newest release from the house of Prada, and I pretty much wrote it off when I first tried it in a Sephora some months back. I smelled it on paper. I found it pleasant, but it wasn't anything special to me. I've given it one wearing since getting this bottle, and I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I love it now, but I can definitely see myself wearing it more. This is Luna Rossa Ocean Eau de Parfum. Now at first spray, this is pretty warm, sweet vanilla. There's a kind of a delicious, sexy nighttime vibe to it, almost leaning a little powdery, but there is this semi-watery freshness to it. There is a cleanliness here that you would expect from a balanced, male-marketed everyday wear kind of fragrance. It's not overly blue, it's not overly generic. Ocean doesn't really make sense to me with this line. Same for the Eau de Toilette, but I can't deny that I think it functions great as an all year round scent, kind of like the Burberry, maybe not the first fragrance I'm reaching for on the beach or something like that, but summer nights, sure. Milder summer days or mornings, sure. And any other time of the year, pretty much perfect. I was smelling it for like 10 hours on my skin. I wore it just yesterday and I did enjoy it. So more to come on this as I get to know it better. Let me know if you dig this one. Luna Rossa Ocean Eau de Parfum. Ocean is still weird to me. Moving on. This one's not going to be for everyone. You do have to love musk. And this is very musk forward. From Narciso Rodriguez, known for their musk fragrances, Bleu Noir Eau de Parfum. Once again, seeing a lot of these EDPs here. It's just perfect for this occasion. It does have a bit of a citrusy freshness. I get like an orange or a mandarin orange kind of vibe. That's almost fruity sweet. Just a little bit, but the warmth of the musk in here, it just rounds it out. It's a very smooth but kind of fresh fragrance. It does slightly resemble another fragrance we'll see later on in this list, but it's kind of like a less complex, smoother, more rounded version of it, and performs pretty good for me. I've seen a variety of experiences with performance, hence why we're not using that as a defining factor. So once again, don't expect every single fragrance to last 8 hours on your skin. But I've been singing the praises of this one for some time, and I do think one of the reasons is because it's really versatile but a little bit different. Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Eau de Parfum. I think a few of you would expect to see this fragrance, even though a lot of you may not like this fragrance, but I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's utterly timeless, and I think it's perfectly versatile for year-round use. Terre. Wow. This never gets old, guys. Wow. Just pure attractiveness.
Soak it up.
I'm gonna hold it out here. Terre Eau de Toilette, the OG from 2005 or 6. Incredible fragrance. You gotta love vetiver though. Very earthy, slightly dry. There is a pretty approachable citrusy freshness, like an orange, pretty realistic orange. Lots of ISO-y super, which kind of fills out the scent, gives it this musky, woody freshness that is kind of sexy smelling, and it's a really effective molecule to use. But mostly you're getting orange and vetiver here. Some people say it smells like a dirty, earthy, soil-covered orange. Sure, that's fine. It smells super elegant to me, and it works all year round for any occasion. This is easily signature scent worthy if you have no problem not fitting in. Walk with confidence. Don't spray too much. It will supplement you. Terre. I'm gonna stay over here. Eau de Toilette. Not one everyone will agree with. Some people find it boring and linear, and honestly, I can't really disagree. It's not remarkable. It's not mind-blowing. It's not super innovative, but it is definitive. It's very specific. It's thoughtful. It's also super easy to wear and extremely versatile. From Dior Homme 2020. This is just masterfully created. This is undeniably Dior. It has Dior written all over it. No, it's nothing like its predecessor, the original Dior Homme line. So we have to just remove that. We have to forgive Dior for strangely using the Homme moniker for this new direction. Again, what can we do? We can't change it. So we just have to accept it as is, or just skip it and don't ever try it. And that's fine too. But this is the perfect blend of citrusy freshness with woods and with elemi resin. Elemi is pretty prominent here, and it's kind of an unusual nuance to the scent. It brings a damp but fresh, lemony, piney, resinous feel. Makes it from being overly generic. It's not run-of-the-mill. This is actually kind of different. There's nothing that it smells exactly like, which I truly appreciate. Again, signature scent worthy stuff here. That is Dior Homme 2020. Let me know if you dig it or if you hate it. That's fine too. Either way, link down below to check it out. We're gonna stick with Dior for a minute. This is a classic. It's one that a lot of people love, but it's one that if you've not smelled it, I can easily see you not loving it because it does smell a little bit mature. It definitely harkens back to a time decades ago because it is based on a fragrance that came out in the 1960s. This is Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. This is the 2017 formulation, was reformulated, I imagine because of changes in regulations, but they kept the magic of it. It's beautiful stuff. If anything, it's maybe a little bit less intense than the original version, maybe a little bit less strong, but no slouch by any means. This is also grounded by a lot of elemi resin. Dior loves their elemi. Citrusy and fresh. There is this old world, sophisticated masculine quality to it. It's a woodiness along with that elemi, a touch of sweetness, a little damp. Again, mostly fresh, but there is depth here. I think it's perfect all year round. And I would, again, maybe not want to wear this on the most casual day out on the hottest day. This just feels a little more classy to me. I would want to wear it more thoughtfully, maybe even more towards the evening. But if it is going to be on a warm day, I'm going to wear it when I know I'll be inside and especially dressed up a little bit. Dior Homme Sauvage Parfum 2017. Back to Hermes, one of the newest fragrances from the brand. I think this is a commendable new DNA. I'm so proud of them for actually giving us something new because not every brand is doing that right now. The H24 collection, I'm really curious to see where they're going to take this. We had an EDT that came out 2021, and a year later we got the Eau de Parfum, which I was surprised by. The EDT grew on me. Didn't love it all that much at first spray because it came off very simplistic. I was expecting something like Terre de Hermes, something different, and it wasn't exactly like everything else, but it felt a little bit too safe for me. Over the course of about a year, I wore it a lot and got to know it better, and it grew on me. I saw the Eau de Parfum at the Heathrow airport in London on my way back home to the US. I didn't think much of it. I put it on my hand, not expecting much. It drew me in. I bought the bottle right then and there. Brought it home and I've been enjoying it. This is a perfect Eau de Parfum flanker, and it does feature this balance we've been talking about. There is a freshness, a green metallic freshness, but it is more moss heavy, a little bit less on that metallic feel that the EDT has, but it's still kind of in there. Definitely less citrusy, and there is a pretty prominent sweet green, dark, earthy mossiness here, but it still comes off as clean, believe it or not. Some people say they get a banana feel. I see what they mean. You may not be able to unsmell it, but I don't find it unpleasant, and especially in the air, it smells incredible. It smells elegant, smells classy, smells modern. If you smell it up close all day long, then yeah, maybe you'll be sick of bananas, but I don't really get that vibe too strongly here. Again, all year round use, day or night. I think it's perfect for that. Eau de Parfum version of H24. Classy stuff here, guys. More for the confident, maybe mature personality. From Tom Ford, Beau de Jour. This is classic fougere vibes. Classic men's aromatic fougere, reminiscent of things that came out in the 80s and maybe even the 70s. Does smell a little bit similar to Zeno Davidoff, but a little beefier than the current formulations. Maybe a little bit more modern, but it does have a bit of a maturity to it. So you got to be able to appreciate kind of dressing up to this scent. This is a lot of lavender. There is that clean freshness, a little soapy. You do have lots of aromatics in the heart like geranium and many other things, maybe like a mint or something. It does remain pretty fresh and clean, but there is a warm, sweet, ambery base, almost vanilla-like. Definitely gets really smooth, but also quite dry and more dry. Definitely moss in there as well. Like clean out the barbershop, but more mature. You're not just running around trying to catch the fly honeys. This may not be a fly honey trap, that's okay. But if you're looking to attract more mature women with better intentions, this might help. I'm so weird. Tom Ford Beau de Jour. Final fragrance here from Cartier. This is a classic from, I believe, 1998. Not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It has some elements to it that rub some people the wrong way, but I find it to be timeless and I find it to be perfectly versatile for year-round use. This is Declaration, the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Toilette's gonna work best. The Parfum version, not a summer fragrance. No thank you. Beautiful scent, but not for summer. This can straddle the line pretty easily. It does have a fresh aromatic feel. It does have a spiciness, and it also does have quite a bit of woodiness as it dries. The spiciness in here, I believe, is cumin. Not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. Some people are really turned off by it. Some people say it smells sweaty or like BO or stinky. I don't get any of that. This just smells utterly classy. It smells effortlessly elegant. Not something that's too serious, but it's just naturally elevated. Doesn't scream, not an overstated fragrance. This is confident stuff, again, without trying too hard. I love the cardamom and the bitter orange vibe you get here. Very fresh, spicy, kind of mouth-watering, but it is so classy. Jean-Claude Elena makes no mistake. That is Declaration Eau de Toilette from Cartier. All right, I want to know what you think of these fragrances. If you've tried them, let me know down in the comments. And if you have not tried them, links in the description to go to fragrancebuy.ca and check out these fragrances. I highly recommend them if you're looking for something for year-round use. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.